kitchen sink. We will chat, we will make you think. You will not want to go to the loo. You could miss a lot if you had that poo. Stay and watch and join in. Yeah. Yeah. Hello and welcome to the kitchen sink. My hair's flat. I'm Sarah and this is
Lucy.
Yay! Hi Lucy. Oh my god, we got Hugh. Huge is in the house. Woo! Twitter for today, Hugh. You can ask for pizza. So yeah, welcome to the kitchen sink. If you haven't been with us before, we are comedy chat show, and you are welcome to join in the chat. You are, we are broadcasting across Facebook, Twitch, YouTube. So you won't see all the comments, but we do, and we love it. So join in tonight, and we have tonight we'll be chatting to our special guest Paul James, who you won't know who he is unless you're from South Wales. But he is a brilliant pro comedian who ran gigs in Neath in South Wales, and he's a very good friend in a real sense, not a showbiz sense. So we're looking forward to chat with him. But before that, we got our regular features. We have a chat with each other, and we got a new thing tonight. But we've also got the old and new comedy review where we're reviewing Nighty Night. And yeah, we got a new feature, which we'll explain in a bit. But it's called Opinion Place. It's my idea, so I'm quite excited about it. Although Lucy does have a similar idea.
I just never told anyone.
How are you, Lucy? How's things? How's your week been? What's happening, bird? You alright? How's the truck?
Truck's been really, really good. Monday, Tuesday, because it was wet, every time I opened the back of the truck, stuff fell into muddy puddles and either covered my face or hit me in the hair, which, I could do without. But today, it's been dry, so I have not been wearing any mud.
Way! It's always a good work day when you're not covered in shite. That's good news. Yay! Good Well, I haven't left the house in 2 days, so well, wow. Congratulations on leaving the house. Thoroughly because the day job's been a bit intense, and yesterday it was raining, and my 1 half-hour opportunity I had to go for a walk, and it was hammering it down. I thought, oh, forget that. I'll go for a walk tomorrow, and today it's just been flat out. So I haven't had the chance.
Every time I've gone, when I have a break, every time I've gone to open the door handle to stand outside the truck, like, even battery chickens, I imagine they get like an exercise yard or something, I don't know. But every time I've done it, it started raining, so I've just sort of sat, like, and then as soon as my break is over and I start back off again, it stopped raining. Yeah. But what I want to know from you is you have a habit of doing something that I think is deranged.
Oh yeah,
deranged. Yeah, just the one. Just
the one. You spotted that, did you? Right.
When's the last time you went crazy sea swimming?
Oh, I miss my crazy sea swimming. Right. I love it. Right, as you know, I live near the beach, but not close enough that I could walk to the beach from my house. And here in Wales, we're not allowed to do frig all. We're not allowed to drive to go exercising, although everyone does. I mean, I do. I mean, don't come and arrest me, South Wales Police. I would deny.
Change your name on the screen, sir.
Yeah, but yeah, so the beach is slightly too far for me to walk and swim, so I haven't been able to do it for a while. That's why I haven't been able to go sea swimming. But I tell you what, I love it, and I fully recommend anyone to do it. And my plan is I have been in February, and my plan is to get in that sea at least once a month for the whole of the year. And I think I was in the sea in May last year. I think that was the first time, either May or June. So, I mean, God, by the time it gets to May this year, it's going to feel like a hot bubble bath compared to, like, it's the coldest. February and March is the absolute coldest. It's around 8.5 to 9 degrees. Our body temperature is 36 degrees, guys. So
I just shivered. I just shivered listening to you.
It is freezing, but that's why you do it, because it's really good for your nervous system. You feel like you can do anything. As you're doing it, you're like, screw this is horrendous. But it's nice once you get in, it's fine. You can have a little splash about and you chat with your friends. And you're only in this time of year, I'm only in like 5 minutes, 10 minutes at the most, because it is too cold. And then you get out and you feel amazing. And you feel like I can do absolutely anything because I've just been in the sea like a crazy person. It's great. And it's huge. It's becoming a really big thing to do, especially women of a certain age. Will love it. It increases libido, apparently. Not naked, Hugh.
That's why I keep out of the sea.
Hugh Janus has said, Sarah Bridgman, aka the Naked Dipper. Chicken dipper, more like. Hello, which cat have you got behind you, Lucy?
Izzy.
Izzy. Oh, Izzy.
It's Kitty. But the thing is, when it's nothing better to see than to see a cat chewing on a light bulb, because it lights them up from the mouth outwards.
Yeah. Oh. So if there's a banging on the door, it's going to be the RSPCA going, we hear you're allowing animals to chew on electricity.
Don't damage the decor. You go.
Oh no, sorry, I'm just interrupting. I might defy the Rosas on the weekend and go and do a bit of the old dipping, sea dipping. I'm missing it massively. Well, I might wait a week and it'll be March soon, isn't it?
The thing is, I've got some friends on the old Booker Faces who, and I think I've noticed a lot of people mentioning this recently, that they are no longer wanting to be friends with people that are doing the whole, it's a conspiracy theory, fuck the vaccine, and all that crap. And it's like, I understand that. If I knew somebody that was like doing a Rita Ora or something, I'd have a problem with that. But the occasional mental health break, I think, is very important. So for you going to the beach and having a swim, because your job, you're not just working from home, because you do online teaching, you're trapped in a seat. You don't even get to like have a phone call and like walk to the kitchen and walk over there kind of thing. You're very much, you do the same as me. You are strapped to that seat.
I am strapped.
But I get to see strangers and my window changes, whereas you are literally just in that box. And I find anyone, I'd ask anyone to try and explain why you wouldn't be able to do that mini jaunt to the beach. Whereas I live in a beautiful little village and it has a canal. And I know that people are traveling from like up to 3 hours to come and walk along our canal, bringing their germs with us, even though, do you know what I mean? It's like, we're not that special, but they're like, yeah, but I had a Range Rover, so I'm not going to have germs, Mike, because that's what common people have.
Yeah. Germs are non-discriminatory. If you have children, you have germs. So
yeah, I know.
Keep your children away from people.
I don't care if the kid's called Coriander. You're riddled, mate. Fuck off out of Devon.
It's difficult though, isn't it? Because especially in Wales, you know, we got Mark Drakeford. It was like, right, you've got to, you know, if you don't do any exercise, you're going to start at home, you know, and end at home. Trouble is, the pavements are less safe than the massive beach. And I understand that, you know, I just don't get why he couldn't just say the 5 mile rule again, you know, because then it's not, I mean, and also it's like, come on, you know, it's.
Well, you know, I'm listening to my Australian radio for mental health reasons.
Have you been watching Married at First Sight, the Australian? Everybody's wagging on about it. I've started on series 4 because it's on Channel 4. But everyone's talking about the latest one, so I don't know if I'm watching it and going, yes, it's all right.
And this is something that I'll probably bring up in my opinion bit, but I don't know to bed, but I'm just, that's not my kind of.
Right.
Like I will watch Big Brother America and Big Brother Canada because that is like a game of Risk and a knife and like £250,000. Like that that is a mental assault course, trapped in a house. But Married at First Sight, it's.
I'm tempted, I gotta say.
Well,
I'd
from what I've
rather
heard
that
is the first season
Kingdom.
they started off and they had, and it was Luke Conrati was talking. That's it. Luke Conrati was on the other show, Big World Small Talk, and he said season 1 they had like that eHarmony questionnaire where they were like, oh, he likes long walks, she likes long walks, and they matched them according to the algorithm. But now they were just like, yeah, you can go with her, she can go with him. Yeah, I know she's a little bit like, she does like a violence towards men, but he seems like you could take it. Let's put them two together. And it's gone a little bit like, Big Brother UK sort of around season 20 where they were just like, hiya!
Yeah. I like chucking them in a room, and it just became a human zoo in the end, didn't it? It was like, put the freaks in, let them fight. Whereas at the beginning, it was selling itself as a psychology show. I liked Big Brother at the beginning because it was like, hey, psychology. But yeah, watching. I mean, I love the Australian sense of humour. I love that Aussies are so down to earth.
That's why I mentioned it. So the show I listened to is in Melbourne, Victoria, and I've got as far as June because I've been playing catch up. I've only just found out about the podcast, and they've just got into stage 4, and they have they've got into a 5-kilometre circle,
right?
And that makes sense. 5 kilometres, because are you 5 kilometres or 5 miles from the beach?
Yeah.
That seems perfect. I think keeping people to a radius makes sense.
I think, because like when I've complained to people before and gone, but that's all I want is to be able to get in my car, because you can see stuff that's slightly different from where I live if you can get in the car,
Yeah.
And I could walk. It would take me about an hour and a half to get to Swansea Beach. But Swansea Beach, it's such a wide, long beach that even when the tide is full in, it's like walking miles to get to it. And then you're up to your ankles for another mile, in the sea. And no one swims in Swansea Beach. Okay, it's minging. It's not minging. It's still really clear, but it's not the same. And then you go to Caswell or Langland or Rotherslade, and it's just a different point of view. It's nice. It has it's just nice. It's much nicer. And it feels, they've got a cafe there. It's a takeaway cafe. It's the whole thing, None of my friends want to go to Swansea Beach for a dip, whereas we all like Caswell. We're a bit snobs, really. We like Caswell and Lang. It's just it's the whole thing, as well as actually getting in the sea. And then you have a nice hot chocolate and a bit of a natter afterwards. It's really nice. But I don't feel I can do that now because I'm not invited anymore because I don't live close enough. I'm not in a bubble with anyone rich. And so I'm not invited anymore. So if it was the 5 mile radius, I could go and legitimately go and not get side eyes from the rich locals going, what are you doing here in a car? It's just a bit shit. And also it just makes you feel a bit like, the haves and have nots, it's a really horrible feeling. But hopefully, it just seems, and it would stop people from, I don't know, Newport or Bristol going, I fancy going to Mumbles.
Oh, we've got them from Birmingham coming down here for fishing and watching the canal and stuff. And it's like, sod off.
Yeah. Exactly. There's me worrying about driving 5 miles to go for a quick dip.
Oh,
somebody like travelling from London all the way up to Snowdonia and getting virtually killed on the mountain just because they fancy it.
At North Devon, my mate's been going back and forth on his work past North Devon, and there's coppers on the roundabout. And I don't know.
Danny's saying Anne Harrod Hawks loves the champagne breakfast at Langlands.
Who's Anne Harrod Hawks?
Langlands Brasserie. This is like a cafe, like a posh place at Langlands, like a nice restaurant.
Yeah, but who's Anne Harrod Hawks? What am I missing out on?
You don't know who Anne Harrod Hawks? I don't know who Anna Harrod Hawks is either. Sorry.
I used to go to school with a girl called Anna Davis. Hi, if you're watching. But what we need to do then is we're looking for a Sync Girls Appeal. If you are a resident of Swansea that can send Sarah a copy of your electricity bill so she can pretend she lives at your house, get in touch. We are on Twitter at the Sink Girls.
Help Sarah. Part of Swansea.
Yeah, make it a nice one because we don't want her to pretend to live somewhere common. So if you can send us in a copy of your utility bill, please, let's get Sarah and some fake ID so she can go swimming again. See, the Sink Girls solving problems.
If you manage to get me back in the sea, I will film it for you, and we'll show it on next week's Sink, on the next time we're on the Sink. Oh yeah, I do know how Harrod is. Sorry, I'm better.
Why am I hearing Danny going? And Harrod, hold my handbag. I'm going in.
Wouldn't that be amazing when we're all allowed out? Anyone, male or female, we need to all get together, a kitchen sink, dip in the sea. But hopefully it'll be warmer by then as well. Be really cool.
And some of us will be having a kitchen sink paddle. Can't go too far in. My cigarette will get wet.
Have I got to roll up my leggings?
Keep going. You're looking lovely. You haven't got your hair wet. That's it, girl. Keep going. That's it. I got your towel.
Oh, Danny says I'll bring cake to warm up. Absolutely. Hugh will be in.
That's just messy, Danny. Brandy dries you up. Hugh is. Can I just say, Sarah, I absolutely love the fact that you always call him Huge.
What's his name? Huge.
No, it's Hugh.
Hugh. Nina.
Huge has been on.
I call him Huge. He loves it. He's always.
Yeah, I mean, he said not once has he messaged him to complain.
He was talking about how many minutes to foreplay that you need when you're tossing a pancake on Twitter, and I was like, I really don't know what to say to that. If you think 3 minutes is enough, you're going to end up with a very boring pancake.
Do you know, I have to say, Sarah, since my central heating has been fixed, we've had it on full blast, but I'm still dressing like a cold person. So I've got bed socks. I'm overheating. You know when you get the sweat starting at the bottom of your roots?
Yeah. Maybe it's the change. Are you sure it's just the heating?
I'm 39. Can you get that? Is that about it?
It would be very early, but yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't really notice. I'm on the depot, so it's for me. It's not having them to go into not having them, but being a bit more mental. The change for me is definitely going to be not physical. It's going to be just mental. And when I say mental, I mean fucking mental. If I'm anything like my mother went, I came up one day and the entire bathroom was on the floor, and she was holding a book off the library, and I was like, "There you go. That's the change."
We got Ray. Ray's in. Ray is in.
Hi, Ray.
Yay! It's been a few weeks. He said, "I am watching Honest. My Wi-Fi keeps dropping out. As for swimming, I watch everyone's clothes. Not exposing my loud ass anytime soon." Okay, yeah. Well, we do need someone so that our stuff doesn't get nicked. So yeah, you can be on watching the clothes.
I've already covered that, Ray, because I'm having a fag. But do you know what? There are 2 questions you need to ask yourself about having a beach-ready body. Have you got a body? Have you got a beach? That's it.
Yeah. Right. Are we ready for our new feature?
Yes. Are you going to press the button, love?
I'm going to have a go at pressing the button.
Go and have a go. Have a go.
Let me find the thing first. So I need to introduce it as well. So, ladies and gentlemen, where is it? Special guest time. That's not it. That's not it. Workshop review. Oh, yes, I found it. Okay. So, guys, oh my God, the internet is an amazing place, isn't it? But if only we had somewhere to share our opinions. But now we do with Opinion Place.
Opinion Place. Opinion Place. Say what you want, right to my face.
Yeah.
I just love the idea of you making that at home, just there, like with Maisie looking at you, going, "What are you doing?"
I'm like, Opinion Place. Say what you want, right to my face. That's an earworm now, guys. That's it now. You're going to have that in your head. So I'm quite pleased with myself with that. Anyway, yeah, Opinion Place. So, yeah. Opinions, right? So my opinion. So we're all gonna like. I've got opinions coming out my wazoo. My opinion this week on Opinion Place is this: lemons versus oranges. Okay, now I know what you're thinking. Oranges. They're the best fruit ever. Because why? They're not. Lemons are the best fruit ever because you can use them in salad dressings. You can squeeze a bit of them into your water in the morning. Oranges are so overrated. So I reckon oranges are out, lemons are in. And that is my opinion on Opinion Place. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's my opinion for this week. Lucy,
Right.
what's yours?
Right, okay. People are like celebrities are getting backlash for going to like the Maldives and Marbella and all that stuff and having their pictures taken. The problem I've got is they're not celebrities. Like people like it's not like, you know, you got your George
Controversial.
Clooney's. It's the ones that are like they were on Towie for a week or Essex Chelsea Flower Show is real. You know, these shows and they're like, oh, Suzanne Lorraine has gone to Marbella and she's like,
Yeah.
and it's like, oh, these celebrities shouldn't be going out of the country. They're not fucking celebrities. I don't know who they are. Get home. Sit your ass back home. Is Sarah standing in a comedy show right now doing a live set? No. Am I in a comedy show doing a live set? No. Get back in your house.
Yeah, that's a good opinion. Well done. Huge has got an opinion. Nothing like a head banging Robin. Damn straight, Hugh. Cracking opinion to have. Hot take, some people would say. Danny says, you can squeeze your oranges over your couscous. What?
Get your fruit off my food.
Yeah. You do?
There's a restaurant.
Actually.
There's a restaurant in Devon, and they always give you a side salad, and it's sort of, you know, finely chopped lettuce, like iceberg, with like a bit of tomato. But what they do is they give you a slice of orange, and they twist it, and a little segment of kiwi. It is not 1973.
Right.
Stop it.
Oh,
Everybody, I have never seen anybody go, oh, do you know what I really want? I want a side.
Right.
Ooh.
I don't know if you have. Yeah, you stifled a bit for me. I don't know if someone out there can tell us whether you stifled or not. I don't know if stifled is the right word. It was you.
That's stifled. Let me shut the curtains.
Yes, there's bloody windows. I have to say, I love a bit of 1970s. I love a bit of kitsch. I love a prawn cocktail. I don't know if kiwi is 1970s. I'd say it's more 80s. Bit of the old kiwis. Mark App Anthony, hiya, says, when life gives you lemons, buy a Jamie Oliver cookbook. He loves that. He doesn't all. Fucking hell.
And he'd be like, oh, just squeeze it, just grab it and smash it into your salad. Yeah. Bosh.
Yeah, and he was big in the 90s. It was a long time ago now. That's the scary thing. I just still think of him as not a young person. Huge says, lemon is common. It's so common, its letters can be arranged into another fruit. Try that with a fucking orange. Yeah. You can't even rhyme words with orange. It's a naff fruit. Bish bash, lemon squash. Yes. Oh, yes, please, Danny, send us the recipe. I'm very aware we've suddenly gone very middle class, but that's possibly because of my lemon opinions. Have we got any other opinions? Or shall we end that section?
I was the opinion I told you about, I realised may offend a few of our viewers. So I am going to censorship myself on the one I told you on the phone.
Well, I think. Well, what do you think? Did you enjoy Opinion Place? I
did. I feel cleansed. I feel like I've unleashed.
I've had that on my mind for at least 48 hours, and now I feel, oh, thank God, there's been someone I can express my opinion, isn't it? Especially as women, quite often we're not allowed to express our opinion. We'd be called Karen.
No, you can express your opinions, but you would then be called bossy, or nagging,
or Karen, or nag.
Aggressive. I've been called aggressive.
bossy.
Right,
Yeah.
and Harrod Hawks. Are we
Harry.
getting swamped? And Harrod, welcome to the kitchen sink, love.
Yeah. Yes. Right, that's the end of opinion place then. So I'm going to play my thing again because I want to hear
it.
Okay, let's go.
Opinion place. Opinion place. Say what you want right to my face.
Opinion place. Right, next. On with the next thing. Workshop. Comedy workshop. That's
Yes.
next, isn't it? Right.
Yeah.
Go. Yeah, comedy writing workshop. So this is the section where we both, possibly this week, I've been writing on some comedy, but we're a bit stuck and we're workshopping it. So listen to this comedy gold and then comment and let us know what you think. Hiya, Harrod. Hello, Clev. Yeah, comment. You feel pound doors. Comment away. So Lucy, what comedy have you been working on?
So, okay, right. Right, for those of you that aren't a comedian, all right, when you show somebody a new joke or new bit of material, it is quite vulnerable because you write it, you think this is fucking hilarious. This is me standing on a full stage of Apollo, and the house is going to go absolutely nuts. They're going to be banging their feet until the rafters shake. And you read it to someone, and they go, "Did you mean to be funny there?" Right.
We
Okay.
go, that was amusing. Swear a bit more. It'll be funny.
Right, put my phone there.
Like, come on then, Flower. What have you got for us? I'm just looking for my new stuff that I was working on.
Okay, so a lot of people in lockdown have just discovered decluttering due to the fact that they're trapped in their house and they've got nothing else to do. So in 2019, I had terrible clutter in my life. So I bought into that Marie Kondo technique where you pick something up, you hold it close, and if it doesn't bring you joy, you throw it out. So I tried that with my then boyfriend, and you can work out how that went. But the but the thing is, that joke is made up for effect because at that point, the idea of physically holding him close repulsed me. So I did it by phone. And I would like anybody who tells somebody not to dump someone by text to stop it. It's your dump. You should be able to do it how you want. The only reason why I didn't write him a letter is my texts are free and a stamp costs 27 pence. So it's very new, but I know that I got it in there somewhere. But it's taken me a while to write anything about relationships. That was my first toe dipping into the sea of relationship satire.
Yay! Hiya, Sandro. Is this live? Yes, it is. Hard to believe, but it is. We wouldn't record this. Yeah, okay, cool. It is. You're absolutely right. Whenever you do any new comedy, it is terrifying, especially in this format. So congrats for doing that. I thought, yeah, there's a lot going on. I think with anything editing. So
yeah, I knew you were going to say edit. I mean, I've used 27 words where I could use 3.
Yeah. And then it's a case, so I always say, okay, edit, and then it's, okay, can I add in some wordplay? Can I add in, some tone? What do I really think about this? Am I angry? Am I sad? Am I happy? Add in a bit of that, obviously in the performance. But yeah, I think it's a funny premise. Anybody else? What do you think? The other thing as well, for me, it cut out in the middle, so I didn't quite catch all of it. I know.
And I shut the curtains and everything.
It could be me because I've just noticed I think
that
it might
battery
be me.
cable is not in that bloody computer.
I had to charge my phone earlier. Hang on a minute. What's happening? Right.
Because I've started getting a little symbol on my screen when my internet is shit, and it didn't come up then. Right. Hugh's commented. Huge has commented. As I'm so old, the last time I dumped somebody, it was by carrier pigeon. Nice.
Yeah.
Because for me, jokes I see
There
in
we go.
there, I like the misdirect with the fact that I'm picking up an item and throwing it away. So I like the misdirect that I'm using my boyfriend. Then I like the
Yeah.
topper that holding him close repulses me. But I'm trying to work out a vehicle to get to the fact that texts are cheaper than stamps. So I've got like tick tick space tick. That's the bit that. But I mean, I'm just
That's
yeah.
okay. Okay, cool. Yeah. So try try editing it and see what you come back with next time.
Because I mean, this is what else you don't realise, guys, is a comedian will write an A4 page worth of words, and that will then get reduced, and that will be like 3 sentences by the time we finished with it. So step 1 is always big, and then it just... So you just saw the long version.
Sandro's asked for the second time, is this live? Yes, it is live, Sandro. Stop trolling us. I
Is
love
that
Sandro.
trolling?
Yeah. Or
Is it?
possibly. Knowing Sandro. Not in a bad way. I love Sandro. He's it just makes me laugh so much. Okay. I have asked Sandro to come on live stuff online, but he won't bloody do it.
Oh, he's a real person. He's not a bot.
He is a person. And
Is
he's
he live?
he's a live person.
Is he live?
Very,
But
very
is he
funny. He might be live. He might be a
Is
robot.
he?
I think he is. Okay, I'm going to be brave and say one of my new comedy ideas. I don't know if this is going to be something that's ever going to stay in a set. But you know how much I struggle with.
Don't read the comments. Don't keep eyes back to the middle.
Okay. I am. Okay, so let's have a look. I'm. Oh yeah. Right. Okay. So there's a guy. Right, I'm not on the StreamYard page now, okay? I'm just looking at my stuff, so you'll have to tell me if anything's going on, okay?
Right.
So this guy in Swansea last week, he was caught and arrested for sexually assaulting 12 women and teenagers. And he targeted women in leggings. He'd ride past them on his bike and touch them on the bum, and he was caught partly through social media. He said, this is the worst bit, right? He said it wasn't sexually motivated. It was a political protest as he thought the women were being sexually provocative and shouldn't wear leggings. Okay, first of all, what a fucking prick. But also, I'm like, right, no way was this a political protest. Because it doesn't take an expert of politics to work this out. But let's indulge this delusion for a moment, right? He spent years furious that women dare to wear the most provocative of items, leggings, right? Leggings can be any colour, but generally they're black. And if he's targeting women wearing flesh-coloured leggings, then he needs to be seen by a psychiatrist. Because it's like, right, okay, you know, and if it's like political, surely he's talked about that to somebody, you know, and he's gone, oh, right, I tell you what, who really needs to change their ways. They'd be like, oh, who's it then? Is it Donald Trump? Is it Boris Johnson? Dominic Cummings? No, women wearing leggings. And leggings, yeah, they're way too sexy. Like, really, what is sexy about leggings? Is it the way the lumpy cellulite shows through? Is it the dubious stains down them that's usually last night's dinner? Because I can tell you right now that a real plus point of leggings is they can be worn for days at a time. And I'll see a little stain or something on there. It's usually white. I'll pick away at it, which does nothing. And I think, yeah, one more day. And if I'm not going anywhere, I'm like, yeah, 3 more days then. And then I'll pop to the park and have a little look around. And I have to say, if I see that guy coming near me, I will have a quick political protest with my fist to his face. So that's what I've been working on. What do you think?
I liked it. I mean, I got to be honest, to begin with, I was like, this sounds really bad.
Yeah.
I've got to ask you somehow.
I was angry. what happened was, this was last Friday in Swansea, and I was so angry because it's my local park, Singleton Park, which I grew up in Singleton Park, not literally, you know, did have a house to go to, but I loved it being there. And to think this scumbag who's basically going around just grabbing people's bums and saying it's a fucking political protest, it just made me so angry. But rather than just, you know, do nothing about it, I'm going to write about this. The world needs to hear my fury.
So can I go into Tesco's, crack open a cheeky bottle of Harvey's sherry, neck it, and when I'm arrested, I'll be like, that was political.
Yes, yeah. I'm not getting hammered down the local spa. I am making a political protest because booze is too tasty. They need to make booze less enticing.
Exactly. If it stopped tasting good, I stop fucking drinking it.
Yeah. Flesh-coloured leggings. No, there are leggings. I've seen women in leggings, right? You do see them in like pink leggings, and you quite often see them on these clickbait websites where they're like, from behind, it looks like somebody hasn't got any tights on. Now those need to be banned. Yeah. They're awful. But then they're not tights. There are leggings. You've got white leggings, but generally they're black. They're not a sexy item. I mean, anything can be sexy if you're a complete pervert, I guess. But it's like, oh, come on. And it was the coldest day of the year. There's no way anyone's bloody, you know. I'm just like, I just hope he does time and not just, you know. Anyway, sorry, I'm running out of steam massively. Yeah, so thanks. They are leggings, they're not flesh colour tights.
Can I ask you? Can I beg you, please? When you say about the stain, when you say about the stain, I think you've got to use the word crusty.
Ooh,
a crusty stain. Because in my head, we all know them. It's like a hardened layer of something that flakes off if you scratch at it. A nice crusty scab of food.
Yeah. Yeah, crusty. Right, I'm going to write the word crusty on here. And then I'll be like...
And don't write anything near it. Just write the word crusty. So in 2 weeks' time, you find a piece of paper, you'll be like, have they got crusty written down on a piece of paper? Because that's the other joy. The other joy of being a stand-up comedian is you get inspiration. You find any piece of paper and pen to write this information down. It's the only time you edit yourself. You edit yourself down to only 3 keywords. Put that in your handbag or your rucksack or your pocket. Come back to it 5 weeks later and you're like, hammer shoe boat.
Yeah.
What's that hammer shoe boat?
I don't know. So yeah, I quite enjoyed that. That was quite fun. So thank you.
Thank you very much for indulging us.
In a fortnight. It's in 2 weeks. Not next week. We're not here next week. We're having a week off. But the week after, we've got Robin Morgan coming along. Whoop. This week we have the fantastic Paul James, who is just entering into our dining room as we speak. So yeah, Robin Morgan is in a couple of weeks on the what day? On the 4th of March. So come along for that one. Shall we mention about on the special? Have we got a picture for that yet? So on the 11th of March, we have. I can't believe that we've got this right. Jenny Eclair, fucking Jenny Eclair is coming on our show on the 11th of March for like a International Women's Day special. So put a date in your diary for that now and come on. She's a flipping legend. She's been going many years. She's been on Grumpy Old Women. She's written books. She's an author as well as a stand-up comedian. She's just phenomenal. So I can't believe we get to see Jenny Eclair. So that's amazing. But yeah, so tonight we've got what we got left. We've got Paul James and we've got old and new comedy review. But as per usual, time's been
Can we quickly just say who confirmed this week on the 25th?
Yes. But you can, but you've disappeared. Yay! So we've got Steve. Is it Spears or Spires? Yeah. Spears.
And I'm saying that with conviction and no backup. I've got nothing. I've got no facts to back that up. But I thought I'd say it in a really authoritative voice. You'd be like, yeah, Spears.
Spears. Absolutely. Look, rhymes with Britney Spears.
Yeah.
Don't get it
Like
mixed up
Britney.
with Britney. Right. Shall we crack on then? So I've noticed, so we've got a few amazing guests coming up, and I reckon it is time for our guest this week. We'll do the commentary review after, is it?
Do it after.
Yeah, do it after. Okay, so I
don't know what's up with my internet there. I do apologise. I've got the curtains shut, the doors. I've rebooted my computer. I've done everything I can. I do apologise.
Okay, don't worry. I will do, for the first time ever, I'll do the video, shall I, for our next bit? Because I could do the videos now. I've just got to found it.
You can do the videos.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we have a South Wales comedy legend, the fantastic Paul James.
Special guest time.
Hey!
Guest time. Special guest time.
Yay, Paul James, everybody! Woo! Hello, Paul.
Hello.
There he is. Guys, how are you doing?
Hello.
Where are you?
All right.
Paul has
Oh,
admitted that you don't do much online,
This
have
is
you?
like
I haven't seen you for over a year. Have you?
In my dining room.
I'm not feeling so bad about my Wi-Fi now, sir.
No, can you hear me?
I can just about hear you. It is very jittery.
I mean, but it could be better for you to use your phone, maybe?
Yeah, I could do that.
Right. That's better now. That's fine. You were moving great then.
Is that better?
Yeah.
Oh, I can see his face.
Yeah, Lucy's.
Yeah.
No, it's gone again. Look, well, I'm going to introduce you both while you're sorting that out, because Lucy's often telling me off for not introducing people. So Paul, Lucy, Paul.
Hi, Lucy.
Hello. Hi, Lucy.
Danny says, "How is it possible?"
Just
to wipe on Lucy. Okay.
Let's have a look. Yeah, it's coming okay. Actually, he doesn't look too bad on stream.
On the phone. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, hiya, Paul. How are you?
I'm not too bad. It's on my phone. All these different cameras. It's like when you go into the supermarket and you know, the CCTV and you think, look at the state and that fucker, and it's like yourself.
I know. I find it that you try hard not to look at yourself, but you can't. But it is just looking at you all the time. I lost about 18 pounds in the first month of lockdown because I'm like, I cannot look at my face anymore. I was like, all the time. It was horrible. But well, you're looking very gorgeous anyway. It's lovely to see you.
Anyways from what? Okay, gorgeous anyway.
Even though it's jittery and you're all over the show. Anyway, that's why it's very nice to see you.
Yeah, good to be on.
Oh, thank you. Thanks for coming on. So what have you been up to? How have you been? If you've not been gigging, like as the minute lockdown started, well, me, started, I was like, oh no, I can't leave the house for like months, put a show online. But you've been very much opposed. You've decided not to do that, not to do anything online. Is that right?
Yeah, and I'll just wait until it starts back up again. I think it's not the same without people there.
Yeah.
I don't know. And you get sort of technical things like what's going on today. Lucy is stuck on my screen. I don't know if you can see me. So, no, she's fine. No,
yeah, it does stick. No, Sarah's fine, but I've started sticking tonight for some reason.
Yeah, it just I don't know why we've given up trying to figure out. We've changed the router. We've changed. I mean, it's just she lives in a very thick-walled house in the middle of fucking nowhere. So that's
Do you call it
the
sticking
problem.
within? It's
Yeah,
not
in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah. So yeah, so have you been writing though? Are you still writing comedy, or are you just like, oh, let's just get back into it when it all kicks off again?
I'm doing a master's degree in writing, actually, so that's taken up a lot of my time. Yeah, got sort of funding to do it, so better do it now than ever. So
Yes, I bet lots of people were like, right, this is it now. I started doing a TEFL qualification that I've yet to finish. I've got to do it this weekend. But yeah, I started writing my book.
You're still actually working as well, though. You're doing a proper job as well.
I have my day job, yes. So I'm a teacher and a coach. So I'm coaching anyone that wants coaching. So neurodiverse conditions are what I'm coaching people with, helping them strategize on that. But yeah, and it can be quite intense. And like me and Lucy were chatting earlier, the difference is like Lucy's a truck driver. So she gets to go out and about and see people in 3D. Whereas I am constantly online, and it's weird. I don't know if anyone else out there finds this as well, but it's weird not seeing people in 3D. It's like, it's much more intense. And about a couple of times a week, I'm like, I have to go and see real life people. And if I've just been busy in work and I haven't had an opportunity to leave the house, all it takes is to go to Tesco and I'm like, oh, I'm all excited and a bit busy and I can't sleep that night. It's bizarre.
That's why I got all this shit around my room, so you can get the sense of depth perception of all this crap around the house. That's helping your 3D.
So you keep in touch with people? Are you keeping in touch with anyone in the comedy world?
Yeah, just a grumble. I said Noel, James, Johnny Price, the usual. So
I'm glad you're in touch with Noel, James, because I have worried about. I don't worry. I think about. Oh, I wonder if Noel's okay, because he's not Mr. Tech friendly, is he? I hope he's not watching. He'll come and kill me.
Yeah. Yeah, no, he's the same as ever, put it that way.
Yeah.
I don't have to have breakfast with him now, so that's a bonus.
Will you ever go to Wetherspoons again? Because me and you used to go to Wetherspoons a lot, didn't we? Because it was like cheap coffee. And we'd meet and just go for a real good natter and a good moan about everything. But what do you think?
Yeah.
Would we Wetherspoon it again?
I don't know. If you asked me about a year ago, I'd have said fuck them. And then in a year's time, when we're back again and got no money, we'll just drink there again, won't we?
Yeah. Yeah. I think I remember it was before lockdown. I think he'd done something stupid just before. It was around November, December time last year. And I think we decided no more Wetherspoons. I can't remember what he did. And then what did he do?
He wasn't paying his staff. He didn't want to furlough them. He wanted them to, and he wanted them to come in without any protection. So yeah, he's a bit of a shit.
Yeah, absolutely. And but I think
it's that, and there's cheap beer, isn't there? So you know.
Yeah, and also for the staff that do work there, they need they obviously want to work there. So it's like, what do you do, isn't it? It's all very good having principles, but
they should have worked harder in school.
We have to go in and tell them that.
I have to like Wetherspoons. As a truck driver, I have to. It's part of the license.
I hated it before, but it's just cheap beer.
Yeah, the coffee I like. It's only 99p for a cup of coffee. It's brilliant.
You can put extra stuff in it.
To be honest, I miss pubs. I miss people so much that I might even consider going into a Wetherspoon anyway. because it'd just be lovely to see people and hang out in real life. But yeah, I was thinking, oh great, we got Paul on tomorrow. Well, yesterday I was thinking, oh, I've got Paul on tomorrow, what should we chat about? And I'm like, the one thing that really stands out, apart from us meeting up and having a good old natter about and a good old gossip about everything that goes on locally, is the comedy festival that you created in Neath.
Oh yes.
Because that went for 10
that's
years.
fun, isn't it?
Is it going to come back?
I don't know. It's usually in June, so it's not going to be in June. Obviously, last year was called off. We'll hopefully do something. There's a lot of the venues, whether they'll be open. We'll do something probably in September if we can. I don't know. So everything's up in the air, isn't it? We need having a follow year.
Yeah, I think it's for me. I think it's done me good. I think an awful lot of comedians like that I know are like, oh my god, I have to gig at least 2-3 times a week, otherwise I could keep myself sharp, Seth. I could keep myself sharp. I'm like, what, on the open mic circuit? Okay, but I think it's done people good to have just a bit of a break from it. I know at first I was like, oh, this it, maybe I'll never gig again, but yeah, you can turn to writing and just do more stuff then, isn't it?
Yeah, I didn't miss it at all for a good few months because I started in 2009, the time you did, and I hadn't stopped at all. So it's quite nice to have a break. Like I've had like a couple of weeks where I haven't just had a gig before, where like a lot of open micers will say I'm retiring because I haven't got a gig for 3 months and then come back anyway. But yeah, no, it's only this last few months I've really been missing it. I was quite happy to have a break to begin with. Yeah, and just when it starts back, are we going to have full crowds in? Are we going to have sort of half rooms? Because half of my rooms are quite fucking small.
Yeah.
Yeah, half of 8 people. I don't know. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it starting back up normally. Have you done much Zoom sort of actual gigs then? I know you guys have been doing this. Have you been doing like online gigs?
I have done them.
Yeah.
I'm like Lucy started comedy. Like our regulars know this, so sorry guys, we'll do it again. But Lucy had she did a comedy course about 2 months before the lockdown. She had 11 gigs.
Yeah.
It was going great guns and
13.
You know, and all right. And she's quite talented and she's going great gun, getting lots of gigs. Starting to get some, even like just short amount of gigs, starting to get somewhere. And then lockdown. So she's made it work for her because you can, you know, it does take away a lot of barriers, you know, that you can gig anywhere, that, you know, because you remember when we went to London and we went and did King Gong. And that was like the first few months of both of us doing comedy, I think. It was now the first year. I went and did the King Gong, and in London it's terrifying, but so much fun. But now people can do King Gong from their living rooms. Don't have to travel. Yeah. And like on here we have guests from America and all over the world. So that's great. But on the downside, it's like this. There's a lag. You don't get the feedback. So I kind of stopped doing gigs online because of that. But some of the gigs are really well set up and really nice. But for me, it's just nothing beats live comedy or being there in the room. But I have to say, last night on SLC's show, which he SLC and
some
Robin
people,
Morgan,
I mean, the audience only seen
oh, it's breaking up. Yeah, sorry, it's breaking up again.
I feel responsible in some way. I feel like I've handed the battle of bad internet down. My internet has not been this good all fucking year. And I don't mean this year, I mean the last 12 months. And I swear to God, tonight I'm just like, what is going on? I've moved heaven and earth. I had a fucking priest in here to put an incantation on the bastard computer. I've taped runestones to the modem.
Yeah.
Is it
So,
better
yeah.
if I get rid of my camera?
Yes, we can
Is it
hear
better if I-
you. So that, yeah. Not that we
Right.
don't want to see your lovely face, but we can hear you better now.
See, I can't do that on stage. If I could do this on stage, I'd go further, I'm sure.
You need to get a cat filter.
Oh my God, yeah, that was so funny. Did you see about that, Paul? The cat filter last week.
I'm not a cat. I am here.
I'm not a cat. I am here.
I like
I was talking to Sarah earlier,
you had to
Paul.
clarify
There's
that
one
he's not a
question.
cat.
Sarah's like, what can you think to ask Paul? I was like, well, obviously, the only thing I can ask is, do you know my friend Jacob Holmes? He's from Neath.
Jacob Holmes. No, I can't say I do. Lots of people pretend to come to Neath from Neath just to show off.
I imagine Neath and where I'm living in Devon is quite similar. Good couple of pubs, nice little scene, but everything's quite far out. Everything's quite spread out. So do you enjoy just keeping within your own little boundary in Neath and putting your nights on there? Or do you actually like to get out of Neath and travel around for gigs as much?
I travel really far. I was in Swansea just the other day. A political protest on my bike. No, I gig up and down, up in Scotland, down to I've been down your way for a while. I was in Truro not so long ago. I think it was not long before lockdown. I'm in Devon for a little while. I used to do.
I was going to say, I'm Devon, I'm not Truro.
Yeah, I used to do.
Nice.
Yeah, it's all the same, isn't it?
It's a bit of a Devon Cornwall divide, and I've associated myself with Devon. I've stuck my green and white flag in the earth. Because I could happily just gig in Devon. I know that part of being a comedian is traveling far and wide, but genuinely, I've fallen in love with Devon so much, and the audiences that you get in Devon. I could, if there was a way of doing it, that I could just gig within the Southwest, I would. But I know, obviously, when we are allowed out, it will be a case of getting in the car and going on that fucking M5 every night.
Yeah, I think on a craft level, travel far and wide, do different audiences, and then by the time you're doing your home audience, you've done every type of audience, and they'll appreciate you more. You'll be a better comic for it. Like the Yoda.
Yeah. It's like this. Well, you would call I couldn't find the quote, but somebody called you like the demigod of Welsh comedy. Was that who said that about?
It was Wales Online. I often various things. Yeah,
I love Wales Online.
Says I'm revered as a comedic demigod.
That was it.
That's fantastic.
The bit I cut out is where it says "in Neath" at the end.
It's all quotable.
Yeah, it's ironic because no fucker knows me in Neath. They know me more from like the school run. That Boxing Day, I shit myself in the bear.
Because Paul won't say this about himself, but he ran like the best festival. Like we couldn't believe the acts you were getting. You had Stuart Francis.
I will say that about myself.
Oh, we had some amazing nights, didn't we? And like and those are the nights you remember. You know, in the pub in the Duke in Neath, and people from Neath will know the Duke. It's the kind of pub. It's just so much character, but it should be condemned. There was a tree thrown out of the roof. And like, you know, it wasn't so much a sticky carpet as like, will my feet ever move off this carpet? It's really, you know, you real fear for your life going into that pub, and the stench from the loos, horrendous, but tiny, packed, amazing acts like Rufus, Hound, Mark Thomas. Like you got Tony Lord, some absolutely amazing nights there,
Yeah, it was a good one.
and you know. I'll never forget those nights. It was such good fun, and especially there was a night where you had Tony Law on, and because it was just so hard to get people to go, wasn't it? You'd have the regulars, but it took like 10 years to get to grow the festival, even with these fantastic, amazing comedians, isn't it?
Yeah, I think, I don't know what it's like in Devon, but around, so everybody's got low self-esteem here. I think we get far more people to the Neath Comedy Festival from outside of Neath. I got people in Neath like to know about how shit Neath is, and if it's to do with Neath, it must be crap. And then they miss out, but you know, fuck 'em.
Yeah. The world's best kept secret, but amazing act. So I really hope it comes back, and that we'll just keep doing those fantastic acts. Well, who was your favourite? What was your favourite night doing the festival?
Rufus Hound has got to be close. Perhaps it's been so many. I'm trying to think. Ian Cognito.
Who's your favourite female?
General or comedian?
Start with one, end with the other.
Okay, well, I'm going to say my wife then as my favourite female.
Well
done. Female act. I really like Anna Curl. I think she makes me crack up. I hate to bring the Cornish thing back into it. Now she's Cornish act. Yeah, but those are really good female acts out. I tend not. We've had loads of videos. I don't really think of them. I have sort of favourite acts rather than if you're funny.
Oh, nice.
That was fucking smooth, wasn't it?
I was bugging. I don't see gender.
Yeah, that's how I roll.
You really are a demigod. That was fucking smooth.
So if you could have anyone on at Neath, if you could put any act on other than yourself and other than me, Lucy, of course, who would
Obviously,
you?
it wouldn't be fair.
Standard. Who would you have on?
I had when I started 10 years ago, I had a list, and it was most of the people on that list we've had, like people like Adam Bloom, not that well known but brilliant. Tony Law. I'm probably missing out some obvious ones, but Rufus Hound, Milton Jones. The only one on that list I wasn't able to get was Alexi Sale. I'm not saying he's my favorite, but just in terms of the one that got away, I'd like to have him on at some point. My favorite live act I've seen in my lifetime is going to be Billy Connolly. We just made the tortoise after it as well. I bought my wife a tortoise for Christmas, and we couldn't think of a name. I wanted Surge, but she didn't want to call it that. So, that Billy Connolly documentary was on, so we ended up calling him Billy.
Oh, Billy the tortoise! I didn't know you had a tortoise. That's mad. Oh, right. We have a fantastic regular viewer, Paul, huge anus. And he has forensic research skills. So I'm going to ask you a question from Hugh, Janus, and here we go. Hi, Paul. Knowing that you've previously been kicked off numerous buses whilst being naked in today's climate, would you wear a face mask and a pair of Crocs?
That's pretty good. Pretty good research skills. I
think he works for the CIA.
Okay.
We don't know. We don't question it. He might turn them on us.
Okay. Yeah, well, it's true. This is more of a back in my rugby playing days, where I was a bit fitter as well, so it would be like a full body suit I'd be wearing now, I think. yeah, it's a bit happier to show off. Well, yeah, I do wear a mask. I'm not an anti-masker or an anti-vaxxer. I've had my jab as well. I've had my first one. So
Oh, congratulations.
I
What was
have,
your
because-
underlying health condition?
what's what?
What was your underlying health condition?
Yeah, because you're older than me, you know I shouldn't have had one. No,
Do you know, I'm looking at. Sorry, go on.
no, I'm a foster carer as well, so
Oh,
yeah. So.
no, I wouldn't have allowed that. I'd be like, fuck 'em. Fuck kids.
Yeah, got the
literally.
message. Yeah, we thought we'd do it.
Oh, brilliant! That's good news. I had it a couple of months ago. I had COVID, so I think I'll be all right for it until
I'm bound to
I
have
hopefully get the jab.
some underlying condition as well.
We're losing you a little bit.
Do you live in a haunted, creepy house, Lucy?
Yeah, I know. And the cat just pushed her way through the door, and I just sort of, I could even see how creaky that door was. I was like,
It's
Like
another
something from the
classic
Munsters.
kitchen sink episode.
with the festival, I mean, I haven't attended. I've only heard what Sarah's told me about it. But before I was truck driving, I was a festival event manager. Now, for me, I did outdoor events in tents, and I have worked on a few indoor ones which take places in buildings. So with yours, was it a collection of pubs or like that you had, or did you have it outside? Because I think if we're going to go back to festivals happening anywhere, the outdoor ones are going to be easier to sanction as opposed to the indoor ones. So, I don't think you can keep a good festival down. Would you go that way?
We started in one pub. That expanded to about 10 or 12, and we got some funding last year to do an outdoors one near Neath Castle, which was it was a kids thing. So we had like special kids entertainers. We had Chris Lynham. I don't know if you've ever seen him. His piece de resistance is that he strips naked, sticks a firework up his backside, and sings "There's no business like show business."
And that was for kids.
Thankfully, he did not do that bit, but he did have me worried. He started stripping at one point, and he had like a mask on underneath, and he was pushing. He was pushing conditions a little bit. There's a few sort of old grandmothers who got upset, but yeah, I a lot of it depends on funding, and I think what people find is funding is going to dry up as well. So it's. I don't know. I'm not sure comedy works so well outside. I know they're doing lots of these car things and whatnot. I can't see how that could work. I don't know. I'm hoping it'll go back to normal, but what normal will look like, I don't know.
Yeah, I hope it will too. Maybe it might take a bit longer. I mean, I couldn't believe it when it first all kicked off, and it was like, what? I'm going to do this for 3 weeks. And my friend who works for the NHS was like, hate to tell you this, but this could be it forever. That was her opinion. I was like, oh my God, can't be doing this forever. But
not very funny, this segment, is it?
I was delve into moaning. It's fine.
Comedians getting depressed.
I was lucky enough at a couple of festivals to see comedy acts, and they're in tents, not intense.
Yeah.
Intense. And they can work. And if you can take one of the sides down, then it might count as like an indoor outdoor. I mean, I'm trying to think already about how festivals can come back. So I'm thinking maybe like a 2-sided tent just to keep the breeze down, to keep the speakers dry. But I mean, I've seen like Will Bailey and Dylan Moran and I think Sean Hughes as well. But I've seen lots of acts in tents. So hopefully, because Sarah, you've done outdoor.
Yeah.
And I'd love to say the British weather was reliable enough to be like, right, can you not rain today? Because we've got a show on.
Yeah, I did an outdoor show last year in the summer in the park, in SLC's put on block comedy in the park. And it was a really nice gig. We were really lucky, but it's kind of up against this converted toilet. But, and there's a massive tree, so it kind of gives a bit of a canopy, but she sets it up really well. So I think it can work, but the trouble is you're just comparing it to
Everything always
an indoor
compares.
gig. It's never going to be as good as a normal indoor gig. And also, like, Paul's material is generally quite blue. I can imagine that being like shouting across the park where there are kids running around and like, oh well, you've been warned. It's comedy.
Quite lucky to have done a lot of music festivals as well. And they, it always amazes me, no matter how big the festival and how big bands are there, you'll get a core audience who will come to the comedy tent and stay there all day. You get the really big act who will come along, and then it'll balloon up. I mean, I did one with Russell Howard was there. That went mental. Everybody fucked off as soon as he finished. And then you've got Steve Hall, who's an amazing comic as well, just standing there in front of like 12 people. So there is an ebb and flow, but they often get like a core comedy audience. So if that can be done, I can see what Lucy said. You can just put a tent and any material goes. And I've seen Cogs do his main act there. Just talking about Chris Lyman, I've seen him do that act. A 12-year-old boy run up to him, take a photo of him as he's got the firework up his ass. He does tuck under, Lucy, by the way.
We do love a good tuck.
He's about 60 now, but he's quite fit, in fairness to him. And he just told him to fuck off, you pervert, to this kid. And just after that, he grabbed a baby from the audience, because you quite often get all these sort of earth parents come into these comedy shows in music festivals. So he grabbed a baby and just ran off into the distance. I know Chris really well. He's got 4 grown-up kids of his own. He stays in my house. He's a real family guy. But all they'd seen of him is his act, and you've seen that, Sarah. That would be terrifying to think of him grabbing your baby. Yeah.
Oh my God! Yeah, you'd be like, what? Especially outdoors. He is a phenomenal actor. If you ever, some of the best acts have never on TV. Like mentioned Cogs a few times. The great Dealey, very much missed Ian Cognito. I saw him. I was so lucky to see him. You booked him, so quite a few times. And he's the kind of actor you just want to see again and again and again, because he's so good. And so is Chris. Chris Lynam was just like, oh my God. And it's, we wouldn't, they're the kind of acts that they're legends on the circuit, but you won't ever have ever heard of them. But they are just top notch and so good that, if you're a true comedy fan, you'll have seen them at some point. That's why we're so lucky that you would book them at Neath. Really, I just love the Neath, the Clown's Pocket. Wish this is my hat in the ring for it to come back when we're all allowed out again. So it come back monthly. Come on, Dan, let's call out monthly.
Come on, you got to do it all.
Yeah. So you're working on your degree, your master's at the moment. Then how's that going?
It's in creative writing. I fancy doing it for a little while, but never really had the time with sort of gigging. Constantly, really. So yeah, it's what now or never, really. Actually, I don't think I'd get any sort of grant or anything to do it, and they did. The joke is on them. The chances of getting paid enough money to be eligible to pay it back are incredibly slim.
Yeah.
So I'm 43 now. By the time I finish this, I'll do a PhD, and then I'll retire and they'll never get me.
Yeah. Fair enough. So what kind of stuff
there
have you
are
finished?
Far too many students that have all thought, tell you what I'll do, I'll just never earn over the threshold. Fuck them.
Well, I was a student, and then I was a lecturer, and I thought, what can I do that's less work than this? So then I could comic. Then I had that taken away. So fuck it, I'll be a student again.
Why not, isn't it? Why not? So have you got any ambitions, like with your writing degree, what would be your favourite thing to write, do you think?
I don't know. You know, I haven't got any ambitions. Um,
I went into coaching mode then.
yeah, no,
What is it you
I've
really
achieved my
want?
only ambition. Yeah,
Yeah.
my only ambition is to be happy, and I've achieved that. So anything else is a bonus.
Yeah.
Well, we should go
Aw.
UCAS form now. We go, and how do you think you're going to get there?
Oh,
See,
that's good.
I could be a life coach, like with nuggets like that. I could be a life coach.
Hey, tell you what, here's a writing challenge. You couldn't do a 5-minute set for a blonde truck driver that's got writer's block at the moment, could you?
I don't know how well I write women characters. I don't know. You're
Because
not a
you don't see
typical truck
gender.
driver, though, are
It's
you?
so hard, Lucy. Paul doesn't see gender. That's what it is.
Yeah, exactly. You don't see gender. Just focus on the fact I'm a truck driver. Stick some puns in there, a couple of dick jokes. I'll send you my email address.
Yeah, you have seen my set.
Well, Paul, we're really conscious that we've had you for over half an hour, so thank you so much. Thanks for joining us on the
And
sync
thank you for being
today.
patient with the tech, Paul. We really do appreciate you sticking with it and not just going, sod it, I'll come back another time. So thank you.
Yeah, I don't know how much of it's my fault. I'm quite prepared to take.
We're never, ever going to stop a man from taking the blame. So, yes, it is.
I'm used to it. Okay,
Oh,
no, thanks for having me.
Oh, our pleasure. Thank you so much. Lovely to see you. Can't wait to see you in real life when it all
Bye-bye.
How many
Again,
you
nice to
introduce
meet
us
you.
onto the stage at your festival?
Bye-bye.
Thanks, Paul. Bye. Oh,
What a soldier. What
he's
a
such a lovely
soldier.
guy.
You
Yeah.
said I was going to like him.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, he is. He's absolutely awesome. Danny said, I think I heard that wrong. Did Paul just say he doesn't know how to make a woman gag? Oh, Danny. And
Very good.
Jana says, Sarah, you need a long black couch to grill every. I do. So yeah, if
What are you
anybody wants So if anybody wants any coaching, I'm your girl. If you want to pay me to coach you into making you do what you should be doing, I'm very happy to do that for you. Send me a message. It's generally me just going, right, well, what you want to do is sort yourself out, do some organisation, do your time management, and I'll talk to you next week. Have you done it? No? Get on with it. So
Sarah,
that-
they don't
that
need to
doesn't
know
do.
how they don't need to know how the kitchen sink team meetings go off screen.
Little glimpse behind the curtain for you. So is Paul James. If you see his name on a bill, do go and see him. He's got some amazing. He's quite a blue comedian and a very, very funny, very original. Lots of wordplay, lots of one-liners. He also does a character called a blind character called Seabull Black, and he's a very, very funny guy. So check him out. Right, next we have.
Just going to say a quick thing, because some of the messages aren't coming up through Facebook, so I just want to say big hello to Lucian, that I know from the festival scene. He's been watching. Luke Logan, who often watches from Canada, we had him on the Big World show when the two of us were co-hosting it, and it said, I jumped in during a sweet metal song that blew my ears out. That was you, babe. That was you, babe. And then we got birthday boy Kevin Edwards going, can you neck me a rum then? And I was like, I can't remember what we were talking about, but it was obviously booze related. And then Luke said you can put 5 stone of cottage cheese in a pair of leggings and they would still look symmetrical.
You're not wrong there, Luke.
Yeah, but the thing is, he's such a health freak. He used cottage cheese. Like, no. Over here, we would have said lard. But yes, I just want to make sure we gave everybody that commented in a little name check.
Yes, thank you so much. So, our last section today is the comedy review. Oh, that cat. I love that cat. So this week it was my suggestion. Every week, if you're new to the show, every week we do a comedy review, and it's generally either something we haven't watched yet and we want to watch it and see what we think, or it's someone one of us absolutely loves and we want to see what the other one thinks of it. So this week, it was my suggestion. We take turns to make suggestions. My suggestion this week, and it's someone like, you get those shows where you're like, I really should watch that. I really should. I've been thinking that about this show for the last 17 years.
Unbelievable.
I can't believe it. So it was called Nighty Night, written by Julia Davis. Everyone wangs on about it. Everyone's like, it's one of my influences. And I still hadn't seen it. So I said to Lucy last week, let's watch Nighty Night. So, Lucy, as it was my suggestion, you get to go first with the reviewing. So what did you think?
Well, the first thing when you said it, I was like, I've been meaning to watch that. Everyone always says, like, oh, what are your comedy influences? Oh, yeah, Nighty Night, really love Julia Davis. And I'm like, yeah, I'll put it on the list. And I'm totally going to watch it. And then today you were like, do you know he's 17 years old? And I was like, oh, really? Fuck. Yeah. I mean, I know I could procrastinate, but that is Olympic standard. Christ. Jesus, I'm lucky that I because Peep Show, everyone goes, you've got to watch Peep Show. Got to be honest, I never took to it, but I did actually try and watch that. Nighty Night, I wanted to, and I have to say, it's got elements of Mandy, and it's got elements of League of Their Own. It's got that, what I would call British awkward silence comedy, like that cringe comedy, where somebody says something and you go, that's really funny, but I can't believe they said that. I carried on watching. So there was an episode where where the lady Rebecca Front gives Julia Davis a gift, and she looks at it, she goes, I love gifts, and she looks at it and she goes, that wasn't the one I wanted, I don't like it. And you're just like, yeah. You can't say that. Like, you can't say that. Or like with the Scottish guy, like the fact when she leans forward and he tries to grab her tit, and you're just like, you can't do that. Like, and there's so many amazing lines. I'm sorry if my internet starts flickering. Put your thumb up, put your thumb down or something if you can't see, if you can't hear me.
I can see you. Yeah, it's all good.
Brilliant.
Put your thumb down if it starts going again.
Yeah, I am absolutely over the moon that you suggested it, and I'm really pleased I watched it. And it's something that I am a little bit of a bugger for watching TV and fidgeting, and I could put that on and fidget and still get the crux of it. It's not one of those ones where if you aren't watching every word, you're gonna miss out, kind of thing. There are some comedies that it's almost like it's a trial. You have to sit there and like give it. It's like school homework, but it's so relaxing. It's so awkward. The stars, Angus Dayton and Rebecca Front. What a comedy marriage! I fucking love Angus Dayton, and I would marry Rebecca Front. She is so important to me on comedy. And she's also Chief Inspector of the Oxfordshire Constabulary. It's amazing. That woman has been in my life so much. And to sit in that wheelchair and to take the shit that she takes, she has to be, there's got to be 3.5 hours of basically of laughter, of blooper reels. How she doesn't just punch somebody out or just piss herself, I don't know. And then you forget you've got fucking Ruth Jones in there with the goth, and you're just like, you can't take your eyes off everybody. And I happen to know somebody very similar to the main character. I mean, she's never said her husband is dead. She's never said the husband is dead, but she is blunt and self-obsessed, and it's beautiful. Well done. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Yeah, I mean, when I said it, I'm like, I'm sure maybe I did watch 1 or 2 episodes, but I never did. When I looked at when I looked at you know, saying it, I thought, I'm sure I've seen this before, but when I started watching it, I'm like, no, I would have remembered this. I definitely haven't seen this before. It is brilliant. And do you know what? It really holds up. So I agree with everything you said, Lucy, but it's actually quite fresh. Considering
I
it's
didn't
20
think,
years
oh,
old.
that's 17 years old. I think that's why it was so much of a shock when you said it was 17.
Yeah,
If
I
you
was
told
like,
me that was mid 2000s, 2010,
yeah,
then if you could have said that was 5 years ago. It was
yeah.
only, I'd say, the cut of her jacket and jeans that dates it.
Yes, that's what I was thinking. It's like, because even like the salon is meant to be dated. It's meant to be really old. And like, I watched the first episode of the first ever episode of the first series. It is so dark all the way through. Like every single character has like a disability of some kind, right? Every single one. It's almost like someone went, you know what, Julia, I bet you couldn't do a comedy that had disability, mental health issues. And this is before it was, you know, regular to talk about it. Like we're much more open about talking about these things, whereas in the past it was like it would have been so shocking in the beginning when it was first out there. And it's almost like she went, hold my beer, and did it and wrote it. And I'm like, can you imagine being on that show? Because I genuinely, I was thinking, right, what came before Nighty Night? What comedy was dark and awkward before Nighty Night? So if we look it up, I think you said League of Their Own. I think you meant League of
No,
Gentlemen.
League of Gentlemen. Say League of Their Own, sorry.
Maybe,
I'm obsessed with Freddie Flintoff and what I would do to him.
Oh, okay.
Sorry.
Before we get off topic then.
Off topic.
So like maybe League of Gentlemen was around the same time, but I'm like, can you imagine working on that production and doing that acting, performing in that way, and not having an idea of, right, this has never been done before, so you're not having a kind of a reference to perform in that way. I just think it's phenomenal. Yes, Lucy.
Nighty Night, 2004.
Yeah.
League of Gentlemen, 1999.
Oh my God! No, yeah. So it's clearly an influence. Must have been an influence for sure.
Yeah.
But it's so good. And another thing as well is like obviously back then when it was first out, no one knew who these people were. They were all like, apart from maybe Angus Dayton because he was on a lot of stuff, and maybe Rebecca Front. But they certainly weren't household names. And now look at all the household names in it. You know, like Ruth Jones, but also the woman with the eyebrows. When she was like, she cut her fringe and then painted eyebrows, and at the end it had like she committed suicide. It's like honestly, seek it out. It's a lot funnier than it sounds. And it's like I've seen that woman in so much stuff. Her and Julia Davis, actually, the woman who played the one with the eyebrows. She's been in The Windsor. She plays Princess Anne in The Windsors. And they've got a podcast together and it's hilarious. I'll have to figure out the name of it. Something like Something in Joan, where they play these two upper middle class people talking about sexual problems. It's such a good podcast.
I can't think of the name of it.
But they've been working together for years. You got Ruth Jones, who's now a household name. That was probably one of her first jobs at a drama school. She looks so young in it. Oh, it's and Lynn. You know,
Felicity Montague. That's how I was going to get at it. How young and sexy.
She had her boobs out. It's like, oh my God.
She was a hot.
That's Lynn. Why is Lynn showing off her chest? You know, it's just brilliant. So good. So, you know, it's really interesting to see, like, for the first time, where that's come from. And I noticed as well that Baby Cow Productions with a production company. So I was looking on the website earlier, and there's like Julia Davis has since then has done lots of, I won't say similar because I don't think they're similar, but certainly similar tone, you know, dark humorous comedy. I now just want to watch all of Nighty Night and then see some more Julia Davis stuff, because I always liked it, you know, like you see her in bit parts or smaller parts in what was she in Gavin and Stacey.
Yeah.
And she had that tiny part in Love Actually, and I'm like, she's just phenomenal. She just blows out of the park whatever she does. But also, what a great ensemble cast. So yeah, if you've not seen Nighty Night, fully recommend. Even if you think, because like to me, I'm not fussed on awkward comedy. It just makes me feel awkward, and I can't just relax and laugh. But I loved it, absolutely loved it. So yeah, give it a go. Yeah, good. Okay, so that was my review. Yay, well done. What is the review for next? Oh, actually, before we go, Ray does say Nighty Night is so darkly funny. I loved it all the way through. Fantastic. Okay, so that was our review for this week. For the next time, in 2 weeks' time, what's our review going to be?
We are staying with the iPlayer. And I have to say, because it's going to be 2 weeks' time, I put a 50p bet on the fact that because they're short episodes as well, you're going to munch through them. You're going to not be... The last episode, I can't give any spoilers, but my mother and I watched it, like, and we were just watching, and something happened, and the two of us went, oh, no! To make you climb over the back of the sofa, that's a good comedy. And it seems like we are being sponsored by Rebecca Front, but the next comedy is available on the iPlayer, and it is The Other One, which is a comedy written by Bristol's own Holly Walsh. She's not in it. She's just behind the pen. She's not in front of the camera. But it's only a short episode. It's only a short run, and we were like, well, we'll give it a go. You know, it's up. It says it's on the BBC comedy. This was like midst of lockdown, where we're like scraping anything, and for some reason they weren't really advertising what new comedy they had done. So we had no idea what it was until we saw it in the comedy section on the iPlayer. Within 5 minutes, I need the next one. I need the next one now. Next. Squashed it. So yes, BBC iPlayer, The Other One, written by Holly Walsh. Enjoy.
Awesome. I look forward to that then. Thanks so much for that, Lucy. Huge. Ines says, great choice.
I think we both clicked at the same time.
Yeah, we did. And just very briefly, I don't normally do this, but I will go back for you, Ray, because we haven't seen you for a while. Going back to Nighty Night, he says, just looked it up on IMDb. I'd forgotten Mark Gatiss was in the cast. There's a link with the League of Gentlemen. Yes. So next week, no, not next week. So next week we get a week off. Woo! I know. It's exciting. But I tell you what, we've got some amazing guests coming up after our week off. We've got Robin Morgan. We got Jenny and Claire. Yeah. We got Danny Joe.
Danny John.
Danny John.
Then we got Steve Spears. I've got me sou'wester. I've got me sou'wester and my big harpoon, and I'm going to go for another big fish.
Right. Yes. Oh my God, you were knocking it out of the park. I'm the one going, no, we'll never get that. We'll never get that. And then Lucy goes,
I'm like, they confirmed. Hold my coat.
Get him a truck. Please come on our show. I drive a truck. Okay then. Awesome stuff. Oh, thanks, Ray. Ray says, enjoy your week off. Looking forward to when you return. Thank you. So 4th of March is when we return, because next week it's my birthday and I'm having the week off. I cannot wait.
Yep. I'm looking to send you a present, but I'll send you a present for the first show we have back, so that you can open it on screen because of hashtag content.
Yeah.
Save it for the show. Save the show.
Thank you. I'm going to press the ending thing because I'm doing my practicing of the ending. Commonly known as
I'll do the outro credits, and when you get ready. Yeah.
No, I thought I was going to press the outro, the ending credits as well.
Oh right, no, just you said you were going to press end, and I didn't know if you meant end broadcast. So if you press the credits, I'll end the broadcast.
Okay, right. Until next. Thank you so much for joining us. We love our audience, so thank you so much, and you make it so much fun. And we will see you in a couple of weeks. Yeah, see you. Bye.
Well, that was the kitchen sink. Did we make you laugh? Did we make you think? You can now go to the loo. You can treat yourself to that great big poo. And we will see you next week. Yeah! See you next week.